Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. You're joined as always by myself, Mick, Jimmy, and Age. Jim, you're back after last week's hiatus. We thought you'd go missing after another Cowboys win, but not the case. It's good to see you.
It's great to be back, boys. Great to be back. Off a long 2-week bender, but it's fine. We'll see how we go today.
You do deserve it. What is it, 2 wins in a row?
2 wins in a row.
About to come to
staring
an
down
end
the
this
barrel of
Saturday.
3.
Yeah, probably not against South in Perth. Optus Stadium. It's going to be a cracker.
Be a great game.
Well, let's get straight into it, boys. What are your thoughts on the sin bins going on over the NRL? They said they were going to enforce a tight crackdown, and they've followed suit with around how many sin bins?
Yeah,
Age?
8 sin bins. Obviously, 8 games of footy, so it's an average of 1 sin bin a game. Personally, I think it's ruining the game a bit. It's obviously a massive disadvantage if someone's off for 10 minutes. So
it is.
There was a few that were just like the Hudson Young one where he's like backpedaling. There wasn't much intent. Just clipped the chin a bit. Like, I know they want to start with a bang and put their foot down. But
they weren't mucking around, were they?
Yeah, there was a few they missed. Like Corey Waddell just absolutely smacked someone in the face.
That's the
and then
thing,
he copped
right?
like 2 to 3 weeks.
I think that's what annoyed me the most. It was the consistency. I think they were way harsher at the start of the week, the first 3 or 4 games, compared to the back end. Like you said, the Waddell, the Manly game.
Yeah.
Even in the Dogs game, there was one that was like sort of on the borderline. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I feel like they'll also just pick in based on like the situation of the game. Like if a team was down, they didn't want to really hit them in the head, like smash them, and just like they give them a penalty instead of a sin bin. Like it wasn't consistent.
Like, I get what they're trying to do, protect them from a potential lawsuit in the future, but still, like, there's a borderline to it, and I think they're just crossing it.
Yeah, I think the problem with this is like all these new rules, they crack down for 3 to 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden it just slowly fizzles back out. With the roll ball, I haven't seen a roll ball, not too many.
Mate, they pick and
they're
choose.
They're roll balling like every
They pick
fifth
and
tackle.
choose, and it's just frustrating to watch. Like there's obviously all these penalties now that have crept into the game. High tackles that weren't a penalty a year ago is now a penalty. Like, I get the player welfare side of things. Like, great, like, you know, you're looking after the players, you want to crack down on it, but there's got to be some consistency in it.
I think the number one thing as well is if a player gets sin bin, like, it should also be determined on how injured that player is that got hit. Like, if he's not even going off for a HIA, how is it fair that the bloke goes off for 10?
Yeah.
I was literally just going to mention that one. So the one, obviously I went to Seabus, if you saw it in our story.
Yeah.
I watched, I didn't go to specifically watch Titans Dolphins, but I was in the area, so I popped in.
Yeah.
The Ray Stone one, where he hits Firma high.
Yep.
Refs don't do anything. Firma lays down, clutching at his head. Then they check it. Then Ray Stone gets sin bin. Firma doesn't go HIA.
That's what I mean.
It's like, I don't want to see people milking it more than they already are.
What about the Tungle one? They went back 5 minutes to go sin bin.
Yeah. And the bunk is like reviewing it like while players on.
What's
like,
going on?
I don't mind the rules that they had at the preseason when it was like if a player fails the HIA, then it's a sin bin for that person, like, making up for it.
10 minutes later.
10 minutes later, or like at the time. But I also think, like you said, out of all those 8 sin bins that we had, how many of those players were either forced out for the game or actually went for a HIA?
How many got suspended?
Well, yeah.
Probably none, right?
Like Tino copped a suspension.
Just 1 week.
Someone else, yeah.
Yeah, like
1 week is like little ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's not. There shouldn't be a sin bin in every game.
No, you shouldn't. You're ruining the game.
So I think we did foresee there was going to be heaps of sin bins this round. I reckon it tones down a touch. But if they're staying consistent with like any forceful contact to their heads, a sin bin, could see more.
We'll see more.
We'll see what they do.
Let's move on. Panthers taking another loss, 4 in a row. I would never have expected this. I think everyone expected a little bit of dip with all their signings. All their players leaving. But this is like beyond what I would thought.
Who do you think the biggest loss is for the Panthers coming to 2025? Fisher Harris or Luai?
I think they've both been big losses. I think one is Fisher Harris, obviously in the forward pack. Like he was a leader of that forward pack. So you're missing that leadership there. And then with Luai, their attack at the moment, Penrith, it's just non-existent.
It's pretty clunky as well. I mean,
very clunky.
They're missing some backs. Like they've got a lot of, you'd say, rookies in their back line as well. It's not helping. They're going to help this week with Edwards. But yeah, Luai shored up that whole left edge for him. Now, like, Cleary's almost having to play both sides, trying to work it out.
And it feels like it's a bit too predictable at the moment because you know wherever Cleary is, it's probably going to go that way.
Yeah.
And they are trying a few new different things in their attack.
I don't know if I like it.
It's not really gelling at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like it has potential to come good over the next few months.
Like the one where they turn back either Alamotti or the winger back underneath, back
Yeah.
to the middle of the ruck. Like, I don't see the point of that.
It's a wasted play.
Like, I
But
don't know.
It's
Like,
been working for the last 4 years, so
I know, but
has it finally caught up on them?
they're just trying a few different things. But
I do think they're missing like that punch in the middle, as we said from Fisher Harris, the aggression, the 1-2 punch with Leota. Like, it's just not there anymore, and it is showing.
Do you reckon it probably comes back down to, we've touched on it before, like their spine? Mitch Kenny's a great hooker, but a little boring in attack sometimes. Like, he gets through the messy work in the middle. So when you lose like a Luai and you lose Edwards, well then you've got you got Laurie and J. Cole, and then you got Kenny, who's not creative either.
Yeah,
So then
they're
it's
missing a bit of flair.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously have Cleary, but over the last 4 years, they've just lost heaps of guns, and I think it's finally catching up on them.
finally.
Yo's essentially now playing as another half for him in that middle.
Yeah.
Like, he's become so important to that Penrith attack.
Yeah, he's always first receiver.
First receiver, putting people under, trying to put people through holes. So yeah, it would be I don't know who the biggest loss is, but I think they've both been huge losses, and it's telling for them.
Yeah, massive losses. And then now Blaze comes in at 6 to replace
Yeah.
Cole this week. So there'll be another test. It's pretty much a trial game for him to see if he can hold that spot. But I do think Panthers will win this week, and I think they will come good in the next few months.
Yeah.
Before Origin, particularly when Cleary really wants to, push for that 7 jersey and take it off Moses for the Blues.
I think they just need to break the duck. Like, they're probably not used to losing this many games, and they're going,
let alone in a row.
yeah.
They probably only lose 4 games a season the
Sometimes.
last 4 years. That's
So
I think they'll bounce back, but not good signs for them, because the stat that we got from our dear friend Rando, no team has made the grand final from a 1-4 start in the last 15 years. So
you saying cross Panthers off, Mick?
well, there's
Panthers
a few
can't win.
teams. Well, teams to rule out if you're going off that metric: Dolphins, Panthers, Roosters, and the Eels. I can happily rule out Dolphins, Eels, and definitely the Roosters. They showed nothing.
I still think we can't rule out Panthers.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
They're a champion side.
Yeah.
A team with Cleary, and let alone they do have other good players as well. They got
Edwards.
Lindsay Smith, Edwards.
Yeah.
So I think they still have the strike power to make the grand final. If they win it again, that's the question that we don't know yet.
I think the most alarming thing about Penrith is their defence.
Yep.
Like, they've leaked heaps of points this season.
Which is uncharacteristic
Yeah,
for them. So.
and usually, they sort of pride themselves on defence and, getting teams into that grind. But this year, they're just getting out-muscled in the middle. Like, it's weird.
There are a few excuses. Like, they are shifting, positions a lot. Like, Edwards' injury shifted, Laurie to fullback, and then
The backs as
the
well.
backs are
To'o's
shifting.
been out.
Casey McLean's in and out. Bizza was out. Alamotti centre, then he goes to wing. Jenkins centre, then back to wing. Like, there's a lot of shifting.
Yeah.
Sorensen was out. Papa goes second row, then Garner. Like, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot.
Now, obviously, Kenny's out. Somerton's in. Like, they're not stable. So I think once they get a bit of stability, they'll find their groove, find connections, and defense will come off.
Well, we saw how
off that as
impressive
well.
they were in Vegas, and then they had Melbourne not too long after that, and I think that was a game that was like, whoa, this is like grand final.
Yeah, it was a great
in
game
the
of
making,
footy.
and then you saw this sort
Cleary
of
got
losses
concussed, and
happen.
they still played good that
Well,
game.
that's
they
what I mean.
almost,
So
they almost won, right?
Yeah.
we won. Jimmy, we can touch on your Cowboys now and also our Rabbitohs, because both of us had gutsy wins, but we'll touch on the Cowboys first. First 22-18 win over the Panthers.
Yeah, big win. And I think the big takeaway for me, and the thing that I love about the Cowboys at the moment, is the little effort areas, especially in defence. And I think it showed especially against Penrith when Robson got sin bin. I reckon a month ago we would have conceded 3 or 4 tries. But we only conceded 1 try just before halftime, and we actually scored 1. And then towards the end of the game, you got Hess. Easy for a forward just to, give up on the play when the ball's, not
Is this when he destroyed Cleary?
when he hit Cleary, yeah, exactly right. Even when McLean probably should have passed to Jenkins, but even having Darby there just as cover and making the tackle and then Purdue at the end.
What about Clifford when he did the double tackle?
Yeah,
The effort
exactly.
there.
Yeah, the effort. It's those little
That was
effort
the
areas.
And you could see when Hess smashed Cleary, he was pumped.
Mate, it meant so much.
I've never seen him scream so
Yeah.
hard. Like, they wanted that win.
They
way
wanted that
more than
win,
Panthers
yeah.
did.
So I think that's the biggest takeaway is the last 2 weeks, Raiders and Penrith, our 2 wins. I think that's what's shined through the most is those little effort areas. And I think defensively as well, we're actually tough in defence and sort of not giving up.
Yeah, I did not see that win coming, especially when
Mate, I
Cotter,
didn't see it
got
coming.
ruled out due to illness. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm really confident in Panthers now. You know, at Combank,
Yeah.
you guys don't really travel too well.
And we stayed in the fight.
I don't know how you did it, really.
Yeah. So
Another alarming thing is, though, like, you guys have been one pass off losing the last few games.
yeah,
Like,
I did see that was
Casey,
Rando.
Rando posted that. Another
Yeah.
shout out to Rando. Casey McLean didn't pass to Jenkins. They were just behind, I think, at the time.
Savage
And
to
then
Paddy.
Savage didn't pass that on Paddy
Yeah.
to win the game or level it.
Yeah.
And then Gagai dropped it off a Ponga pass as well. So you could easily be 0-5, but you're not. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So well done, Jim.
And our team age, the Rabbitohs, massive rivalry win over the Roosters, 20-14. Trell Mitt in the team just makes a massive difference, doesn't he?
It does. And I think we should
And it showed.
speak about the forward pass or the alleged forward pass to start
What a
off
ball.
with. What do you think?
I can see both sides, but I also think the margins in it, it's that physics thing where, like, the ball naturally lofts forward a little bit.
Out. It went back out of the hand and he floated forward.
Yeah,
Which is
I
fine,
think
right?
it went either flat or back out of the hands, but it went 4 meters forward.
It floated forward.
So I would, if I was a touchy, I'm calling that forward.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I don't know why Dom Young
I don't know
even
what Dom
tried
Young
to
was
go for the
doing.
intercept if they had man on man.
If you're going for the intercept, you got to at least go for the ball. Dom's missed that ball
Yeah,
completely.
but he didn't even have to.
Yeah.
He could have just waited and just take Tass out. Like, there was no room or anything.
Tass was catching it in the air as well. So when he was coming down, he was off balance. He would have got
could've
taken
just-
out instantly.
Yeah.
If Dom just goes for the ribs, out.
So,
Yeah.
yes, it was forward, but it was also a terrible defensive read.
It was.
Yeah.
But like
but
all things
overall,
considered though,
yeah,
like
mate.
losing Humphreys the first
Straight away.
First minute.
Straight away.
First minute.
Then Cody
lose
at
your
half
halfback.
time.
Yeah, lose Cody.
And then Rubber.
That was a gutsy
Down
win.
to one player on the bench. I looked
That
at the
was a
bench with
gutsy
Havili
win.
sitting there and we were down. I was like, no, we're fucked.
Yeah.
I
See-
was praying we were going to win, but I was not confident.
There's games when you can get away with like 3 injuries, but when you lose it to your halves and another back, like a winger, it's the worst case scenario. Like, South's backline was this to finish the game. Gray fullback, fine. Tass,
Oh, more than fine, mate. Dally M leader.
fine.
Unbelievable.
Tass on the wing, sure, he can play wing. The centers were Duncan and Arrow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Our second row was in a centre.
And then Whiten on the wing. He's never played wing in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
then who were the
Latrell
halves?
at 6. And
Yeah,
Bud
and
Sullivan
Bud
at
came
7.
in.
Yeah.
He did a job. He
It was
played
a
well.
gutsy
Perfect
win,
job.
man.
Well,
Bud Sullivan broke the game open,
Yeah.
set up Jai Gray, so
Well, it
he
comes-
does deserve to hold his spot.
Comes back to what we were talking about last week. There's times when South don't know how to find meters out of their own end and they get trapped just playing the get to 6 tackle, kick, wait
Yeah.
for an error or penalty. And they got stuck into that, but then a few relieving penalties, and not to mention the 2 lucky dropouts by Latrell Mitchell. The
know how he
second
does
one
it.
was
It's a free.
When they
unbelievably
say
lucky.
the bounce of the ball didn't go your way, it didn't go Roosters'
Yeah.
way.
Because Roosters did a similar one in the first half with Chad, and it went out for a dropout essentially
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
not to be
I
honest.
thought to Roosters' credit, and just a sort of a shining light for him. To Toya's credit, I thought he defended Trell really well.
Yeah.
All things
Yeah.
considered, like one-on-one, he did
Like
some
Trell
good
nearly
stops.
scored one. He dropped
Yeah,
it.
he dropped
but-
it, but like I thought he shut him down well, and then he obviously moved into the halves. But
Yeah, good return from Billy Smith as well.
Smith's good to see him
played
back on the field,
And
hopefully-
Tedesco carved this up as always.
yeah,
As much as I shit
he
on the
tried
Roosters,
hard.
like they do have something there, but it's just not coming together with their halves. Sandon's given his best go, but he's still young.
Yeah.
Chad, I'm sorry, but he
got
deserves to
told
get
this
dropped.
week. Yeah, he got dropped.
he
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 got
deserves to get dropped.
So young Savala's in.
Yeah.
So
Especially when Chad's not the future. Like, realistically, his shelf life was another 5 weeks before Sam Walker came back
Yeah,
anyway.
correct.
So there was literally no point of trying to develop him. into
unless he was
something.
playing good and steering him around, but just wasn't working, was it?
And shout out to Siwa Wong, who actually had a really
had a
good
good
crack
game.
on
One
the
was
edge there.
good.
Yeah.
And it's coming my favourite player to watch as a Souths fan, Lockie Hubner.
Unbelievable.
Like
mate,
he's someone that
good.
you don't appreciate if you don't go for the club or if you
Yeah.
don't really follow footy. But like watching him, his effort is insane.
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
good.
chopping people.
Hits
like,
hard.
One of the best tackle techniques I've seen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Similar to Jake Trebojevic, where he just absolutely hammers
Did that
like
little
your
nice little try assist to
good try assist,
to
which I
Toller
didn't
as
think
well.
he had in his little gadget, little
in his
pass.
arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, so he's really
unbelievable
He's like
through
Cameron
the-
Murray. I was going to say from Wish, but he's doing like a really
Mate,
good
he's-
job.
he's good.
So I don't want to say Cameron Murray from Wish, but
Yeah.
yeah, very
Yeah, like
similar.
you can't replicate what Cameron Murray brings to
No,
the club, but
but he's
Hubner's
doing a
doing a
great
red hot
job to
craft.
Yeah,
fill
he's
in.
doing good. And
So,
I think we've spoken
fair
about
play.
Hubner before. Like the fact that Bennett brought him down from the Dolphins, that says a lot about him.
Yeah.
So, it's good.
Yeah, apparently he's a crazy trainer as well. Like what you see on the field is what he does at training. So
It'd be interesting. He could be one of those ones that's smoky for Origin if all things go right.
well, he's got the DNA for Origin, right?
Yeah.
Hard working, hard hitting.
What you want.
Might just be
but-
his lock position pretty competitive.
Yeah, maybe in a few years if he kicks on.
Last talking point for round 5, Dolphins and Eels finally breaking their duck. You could maybe say Eels was expected. Like,
Yeah.
it was
That
bound.
was
they were
coming.
building. But Dolphins getting a great win over the
Surprising.
Titans there. That was very
I'd
surprising.
say Dolphins were closer than Eels. Eels have been
Reckon?
terrible. Whereas Dolphins were like in a lot of their games. Like the
Yeah.
Tigers one they should have won. There's other ones that they were like the Broncos, they weren't too far off. They should have beat South.
Yeah.
Whereas Eels were just like
They've been
pretty
Pretty
poor
poor.
the whole time. So I
good win.
sort of saw Dolphins coming. I didn't see Eels coming, to be honest.
I had a,
Especially when they were
I had a
down.
feeling they were going to bounce
They're down
back.
by like 2 tries.
Yeah.
2 converted tries. So, yeah, fair play. Lomax kicking the field goal. You can't script that shit against your old
No,
club.
you can't.
Crazy, man. So, fair play to him.
The 18th man's failed again. I don't even know why we keep doing this. They're still failing.
I reckon it's in the bin.
I reckon
18th
we
man.
go one or two more weeks. They fail back-to-back weeks. It's
Mate,
done.
18th
They're
man
done.
is so cast.
Done.
Like, for everyone who gives us shit about our tips or our stats or whatever,
No one's backed it up.
no one can pick something $3 or higher. So,
Yeah.
So what are the criteria to be an 18th man
so
age?
it's simple. You have to have a Dabble account. You can make one, or
Yeah.
you can have an existing one. You just got to pick something, $3 odds or higher. And if you win, you go on to the next week. That's all we ask from you. You can pick anything, any sport, from
Mate.
Friday to Sunday. The world's your oyster.
I reckon we've been at 2 weeks max.
Yeah, 2 more weeks and we're binning if no one breaks the curse.
100%.
So reach out, DM us, respond to the story if you want to join.
Speaking of Dabble, we've been on an absolute heater. I know we say it every week, but it seems to be that we're
been
having.
good.
You know how you have a rare run of form? This is a
Yeah, like
good run.
Been good
Stefano,
start to the
Stefano first try at $41. That is
Unbelievable.
just setting you up
That's
for
a
the
great
whole
one.
day.
You hit a multi on the Friday, I believe, Jim.
It was on Saturday.
Saturday
Saturday.
horse racing
Hit the
multi.
Saturday multi. It's been a good week. So jumping on the stream this Saturday.
Yep. We're
Yeah,
back to back
live stream, so we
it'll be
do
good.
all the racing. We cover the NRL giveaways.
Yeah.
Up to
cash
like $250 sometimes.
Yeah.
Split into $50
Plenty of
prizes.
cash, man.
So
Plenty of
5
prizes.
people can win $50 each.
And it's free to play as well, so it's pretty
Yeah.
good. You just got to sign up, and to do that, you can use the link in our bio or description. It's right below. Click the link; it will take you through. And when you sign up, use the code CastPatrol, CASTPATROL.
And the best thing, it is free to join, and we give free tips daily.
Yep.
So nothing to lose, and you can read everyone's captions, descriptions, follow
Banter
whoever
channels.
you want, banter channels, live streams, everything.
Yeah, we
So-
touch on it every week. The best part is
Yeah.
you get to follow who you want. You're not
Yeah, exactly
forced to
right.
follow. Like you watch the races on a Saturday, and no disrespect to those two that you see on the screen, but it's always Gators tips and Brussels or fucking
Yeah.
whoever's on screen, and
Davo,
you go,
yeah.
yeah.
Whereas
So-
you can follow whoever's hot on the day, you know?
Exactly right.
So exactly.
Yeah.
And just remember what's gambling really costing you. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Okay, round 6 NRL preview, guys.
Here we go.
Can't believe we're already here. We're going to start with Dolphins. $2.85 against Panthers, $1.44. Dolphins have never beat the Panthers.
Is that right?
Never.
What's the sample size?
I'd say it's like 3 or 4. I don't
Games?
have it on me, but it's 3
Jim,
or 4
it's
games.
a
yeah.
stat. You can't argue with the stat.
They haven't beat them. Do you think they're going to beat them? Do you need me to read the team changes before you assess?
No, look, I think Panthers will win. I think we spoke about it before at the start of the show. I think Panthers, they're close to sort of breaking out, and I think they get some good players back. Edwards, Sorensen come back this
Yeah.
week.
They do lose Mitch Kenny
Yeah.
and Cole, but then obviously Summerton and Talangi come in for him.
Yeah.
I think Talangi's a great in for him as well. I think they signed him for a reason, and this is sort of the trajectory he needs to kickstart it. His chance. We've seen how talented he is at para, and he might add something to that attack that they've probably been lacking in a little bit in the last few weeks. And Dylan Edwards back on deck, like the New South Wales incumbent fullback.
I think it definitely adds a lot of spark and flair. Like Summerton's really good around the ruck. Like he's fast. He brings something Kenny doesn't. Kenny's more your workhorse, good delivery, good tackles.
Yeah.
And then we know what Blaze can do in attack. He's a live wire. He's fast. You know, he's a young kid and he's looking to hold that spot as well. So I think this is where, as you said, Panthers win, and I think they win well.
I'm not ruling out the Dolphins here, but I think I'm leaning towards the Panthers. Like,
Yeah.
you can rarely back against the Panthers, and I'm not doing it against the Dolphins.
Dolphins do get their enforcer and captain Gilbert back, so he goes second row. Plath goes to lock.
Yep.
Fusi to prop and Nichols to the bench. So they've had a few good sparks.
And I think
the Dolphins.
They'll be on a high, obviously after winning last week. So
Hammer's finally finding a bit of form.
yeah,
Katoa's really good.
Katoa, be
And-
interesting. Katoa versus
Yeah.
Penrith. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, his old club that
his
let
old
him
club.
go, and Daniel Saifidi's been the enforcer of that pack. So
Mm.
yeah,
He's
that'll
been-
be interesting that
He's
one.
been great. But I'm going Panthers.
Yeah,
Panthers cover the line as well. I think it's 7.5, so I'd be jumping on that.
Yeah, I'll go Panthers, but I think it'll be like I don't think it'll be a smashing. I think it'll be like close.
Okay. Moving on to the next game. Two teams coming off losses, Dragons and Titans. Dragons are your favourites at $1.58 and Titans at $2.45.
It's so hard to make of the Titans because they go smash the Roosters and you're like, all right, they're back at home this week playing the Dolphins who haven't won a game all year. Surely it's a freebie, and then get put out that absolute dog shit performance.
Sin bin off the first set doesn't help.
I was there and I was like a Titans fan because I was at the game,
Yeah.
whatever. Let's go for Titans. It felt like it was a Dolphins home game. I hate blaming the ref, but the ref gave nothing to Titans. Nothing at all.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, they didn't play great, but they weren't getting anything. So
It's a bit of both. They did not
it was
play
a
good
bit
at
of
all.
both. Like obviously the sin bin, it was valid, and then just all the penalties after that. It was like Titans were never in that.
I think it's a ticking time bomb for that halves experiment. Like, I really want it to work out, but I think now that Keeney's out, Brimo got to go back to fullback, and they got to get Foran back in there when he's
Yeah.
fit.
He's still a few weeks away. That's a problem. But yeah, you're right. The kicking game's not there with Campbell and Brimo.
Like, because they're both really creative.
They're running. They're
both
running
They're
hard.
running
players,
hard.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They're just not in.
Brimo really isn't a great kicker. Like his short kicking game, he has a little grubber in, but
Yeah.
crossfield kicks and stuff, they're not really it. He's more of a chaser and obviously contester. But
Campbell's great, but I don't know if
Campbell's
he's a
solid.
halfback, is my concern.
Campbell's your 5'8",
a
right?
5'8".
They need a 7. They're missing
And when
a,
you put
a genuine
Brimo,
7.
I swear we talk about this every season.
Yeah, but
And
the Groot's been solid. Like
He's been
under the
good.
high ball, he was solid. He scored a try that got disallowed, I think, or maybe it didn't. Maybe he scored 2, 1 got disallowed, but he's solid as well. So I don't know what they do, but
Yeah. This game, these two teams, they're so hard to catch.
so hard.
yeah, like
Like
I
any
thought
other week
Dragons
you
against
tip 'em.
Eels. I think Dragons win, and then obviously they choked that lead.
Yeah.
But $1.58, like I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Titans here. I reckon they bounce back.
You're gonna go Titans?
Yeah.
Mick, who are you thinking?
I'm going to go Dragons on this one, not confidently. Just, I don't like the Titans at the minute. They give me some...
They're
weird feelings.
inconsistent like every year, I
Yeah,
guess.
every year. The
I
same
love my
vibe.
stats, and Dragons have won 4 of the last 5 versus Titans, so I'm going to be following the stats here because this is one that you could flip a coin.
Yeah.
We'll just touch on
and-
the changes. Dragons won the 17. Jojo Fifita's back. It says Sammy Senna, but they always do this. They name Sammy Senna. He goes to the wing.
Probably play wing.
Jojo goes centre, and then I think Firma obviously goes back to the second row. Fifita bench. What's going on with Fifita?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Like, I think they talked in the injuries front on, like, the preseason that he had a few niggling injuries, but I don't know. He's playing back now. He played 65 minutes last week. Now he's back to the bench.
Yeah. Is he ever going to get back to 80,
I don't
you
know.
reckon?
Des
Do you
is
reckon
an,
he needs a few
Des
more
is an
weeks?
odd cat as it is, so I don't know. He's got something up his sleeve, Des.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know what.
I can
but-
understand. Like, he hasn't been great himself, but I also don't think that Haas is the answer there at
Yeah,
second
like
row.
it's Haas.
Like maybe take the
keeping-
sting out of the game and then Fifita comes in, has an impact.
Yeah,
But
it sort of makes sense, but then again, if I was coaching, I'd be starting him.
yeah, you mean he's
Especially
just like
'cause
he's an
Fifita-
origin forward.
Fifita
Yeah.
backflipped on the club for more money to not sign with the Roosters.
Yeah, like if you're down by 2
Yeah.
tries, Fifita can't impact that game. When he comes on, like the momentum's already gone. Like, so
I don't
that's
know.
the risk they willing
There's
to
a method
take.
behind the madness, and we're
Yeah,
not part of
hopefully
it.
Des comes in clutch.
Next game.
Next game, Broncos $1.22 phase, Roosters $4.25. Chooks have actually won 5 of the last 7 versus Broncos,
Yeah,
but obviously that was with their star-studded team, and they don't have many of those players left.
I think if they played round one. You know?
Yes, I can't believe they're playing again.
If round
5
one
weeks
was
later.
anything to go by, I think Brisbane win and probably win well.
They flogged
think
them,
so,
didn't they?
yeah.
They put
Yeah.
50 on them, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, Broncos should be winning up there at Suncorp. I mean, Broncos, you could say some of their games that they've played this year haven't been that good, but then you look at the ladder and see how many points they've put on teams,
Yeah.
and you go, oh shit, they're that premiership contending
And
team we thought about.
we knew this was
Yeah.
coming, right? Like with that squad plus Madge, like they were going to have a good year.
Yeah.
And it's showing, obviously.
The scariest thing is Walsh isn't even playing good footy.
Yeah.
And they're still winning.
Yeah.
Like, when he is firing, they're going to be really hard to stop.
That Renault and Hunt combo is just...
It's elite.
It's illegal.
It's almost unfair.
Yeah. Two veterans of the game. Hunt controls the left. Reynolds controls the right.
Walsh out the back. I know he's not playing
game,
great.
so good.
Yeah.
Pakes is playing good footy, very elusive and creative.
Haas, Carrigan.
Yeah.
They got players.
Cobbo.
I think Age and I were talking on the last week's pod, we were saying like they're playing okay, but it's not even their stars that are stepping up. It's like Shibasaki, Arthurs is playing great. Gajewski's also really good at second row there.
Yeah.
And Pake. So people were talking about Ezra Mam as soon as his suspension's up for whatever he did, comes straight back in the team. I don't know, because that hooker, he's been playing well.
I don't know if he comes straight back in. He might have to work his way on the bench.
100%.
But Piakora's out, 2-game ban for a high shot. Jaden Hunt's into the starting side.
Yeah.
And Chucky's a big dropping with Chad Townsend out, with Hugo Savala coming in at halfback, the young kid.
Yeah.
We actually played him in OzTag.
Yeah, he did.
About 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And now he's playing first grade against the Broncos. Starting halfback.
He hip dropped Jimmy in Oztag.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He almost
you
ended my All-Star career.
So what happened? You made a mad break.
Made a mad
I thought
break.
you were through for all money.
And then, I don't know, he just came up and
He literally just tackled you.
just tackled me
So
from the
if any
side.
Broncos players make a break, watch out for Hugo.
Yeah,
He's
honestly.
coming for you.
But no, he's good. I think he deserves his chance. He's obviously been coming off the bench, the last couple of games.
And playing well in Cup as well. So
and playing good footy in
probably
Cup.
warranted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a big loss. Collins is out. Knee
MCL,
injury.
yeah.
MCL, that's unfortunate. Butcher goes to prop from lock, and then Radley comes back in at number 13.
Yeah.
Where I think Radley's best position is 13.
He's
Was
13,
he playing
yeah.
second row for a bit?
It was,
yeah.
but I think 13.
I think 13 is good for
But
Radley.
then, like, he's
got
got-
to watch his head.
Those head knocks are... Hey,
I don't know what it is. He just now they're becoming more easier to get knocked out.
yeah.
So the littlest knock, now he's getting knocked out. So I'm really praying he doesn't
You got to watch. Yeah, you gotta
doesn't
watch
do
out
any
for
more
that.
damage.
Not
'cause,
worth the long term risk.
No.
In saying that, I'm going Broncos. It should be a smashing.
Yeah.
I don't like what I've been seeing from the Roosters. Yeah. They're good in patches, but they're just missing that one or two players. Sam Walker is genuinely what they need.
Yeah.
And it sucks that he's done his ACL.
Yeah, they still have a solid team on paper.
They
but
do.
I just don't think it's enough.
No.
Broncos at some
Broncos
point
will
lock
win.
that in for me.
Yeah, Broncos.
Yeah.
Next game, Age, it's actually in Perth. So if you have any
Yeah.
home stats, you're kidding yourself.
Double header in Perth. So Sharks are the first game, $1.58, taking on Manly $2.56. Sharks have won 4 of the last 5 against Manly, and Sharks are actually undefeated at Optus Stadium.
Are they?
Beating Rabbitohs last year by,
Yeah, I remember that.
by 10.
Well, 2023.
2023, sorry, 2 years ago.
No, I just don't...
Both teams that you don't know about either.
I don't know where the Sharks are at the moment. I genuinely don't know.
Sharks losing 2 on the bounce.
2 weeks ago against the Dogs.
2 good teams, though, Dogs and Storm.
Yeah, but you probably think 2 weeks ago they'll probably beat that Dog side.
Oh, they should have.
And they got
They should have
pumped.
beat them.
And
At
then-
home at Shark Park.
Raiders, they just, kept them in the game, just didn't put them away, and then
They had all the favours as well with the sin bin to Hudson Young, a few penalties going their
it was
way.
right
a few
there for the
50-50s
taking.
going
Right there
their
for the
way.
taking. So
I feel like I'm getting a bit of deja vu when I watch the Sharks and I see Hines and Trindle in the halves again, and I'm thinking, this ain't work. It's not working again.
they just don't have that killer instinct.
Yeah. I thought,
Just to close out the game.
I thought they had that connection fixed by the first 4 rounds, and now it's starting to give me some more doubt if that's the right combo.
Sharks in the back end of that game against the Raiders, like Jimmy talks about killer instinct. They were playing anti rugby league to finish that game. They were kicking the ball out for to force a scrum. They were taking it on fit tackle,
they
running to
just
the
try
side.
to-
Just try and ice the game out.
Yeah. And you got just keep playing the way you guys are playing.
Yeah, they got superstars and they got damaging backs.
They got Fanua Blake in the middle.
Yeah, and then on your edges you got Rami and fucking
Hirotzi stepped up too.
Hirotzi was
usually
good.
hero.
Mulatalo
Yeah.
and
Mulatalo's unreal.
Stone Street's okay. The X Factor and
Yeah.
players are there. They're just not working.
It's that middle period of the game when I think AFB's off and they've got
McInnes even comes off as well.
McInnes is off. They've got Atkinson in the middle. With a few other of their bigger boys.
Like Hazelton comes on with I think it was Peru or the big bopper.
Yeah. Number 17.
Hard to pull.
Yeah.
Well.
And I don't know what Fitzy does, but I don't know if that's the answer because Raiders started to steamroll them in that middle
I feel
period.
like
They were coming
they just
for
put
it.
Atkinson on for no reason.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
just
a
a
waste.
waste.
He's not a middle. He's there just
He's
in
just
case
there.
there's an injury.
Yeah.
But they're just chucking him on at lock and, obviously it's not his position.
You've got
So,
Tarpany and Horse out there.
Yeah, just steamrolling people. But To Raiders' credit, that was like probably one of the tries of the year.
Oh, mate, that was so good.
Sharks win that game bar that miraculous try. So they weren't too far off.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely incredible.
It
from the
helps
whole
this
team.
week. They get Teague Wilton back, shoring up that edge, and Sifat Talika off the bench. Another one that I think if he comes on through the middle there, it helps. He's a bigger body.
Yeah. But on the other side, Manly.
Yeah, I mean, look, they played the Storm, but the week before against the Eels when Turbo went down, they weren't great either as soon as he came off. There's probably still that gelling period with Hopewade at fullback and like Cherry Evans. Probably that whole drama is probably lurking over the club just a little bit.
Yeah.
And the fact that I want to leave Manly for no reason.
I feel like there's a lot coming out there. Like Spud came out and said like it's like going to ruin his legacy. Like there's a lot of talk. So obviously the players are thinking about like your captain's leaving the club. Like he doesn't want to be there. Like there's got to be some sort of like
I don't know what was going on there.
there.
Like they kicked the penalty goal. They're up 2-0, and then Melbourne just went bang, 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 and it was just like
and then Manly sort of came back and
game
then
over.
Then it was over. But I feel like this is an evenish matchup. You know, Sharks taking their home game to Perth does open it up a bit for Manly. Like Manly, they have points in them, and so do Sharks.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Sharks here though.
Yeah, I'll go Sharks.
Teague and Talakai's back. There's some good inclusions.
Yeah.
I still think without Turbo, I'm just not confident to pick Manly.
Yeah, I'm going to go
And
the
they're not
Sharks.
at 4 Pines this time, so yeah.
Oh, this one could go either way, but I'm going to go the Sharks.
Yeah, I don't like it. If Seagulls had Turbo, I'm definitely going Seagulls, but nope, they don't. And I'm going Sharks, but not confidently.
Okay.
If they lose this week, I'm off them for good.
Game of the round.
This is the game of the round.
Massive blockbuster. Two teams in massive form.
The Cast Cup.
The Cast
Are
Cup.
they both coming off 2 wins in a row?
No,
Yes.
Or South on 3?
South,
Both are hot.
No, they are both off 2 wins.
Both off
Yeah.
2?
Yeah,
both coming
Panthers,
off 2.
both off a win to the Panthers.
Yeah, there
Both
you
are
go.
hot.
Winner comes in. Winner goes to 3 in a row. Rabbitohs $2.08. Cowboys $1.75.
Thoughts on that?
They
How's
got-
favourites?
I don't think you guys should be favourites.
I think it's
we
obviously...
have a few injuries.
Yeah, the
obviously.
I
injuries
think it's
doesn't
injury
help.
front.
Yeah, I think it should be
Losing-
$1.90 each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty evenly matched. It just turns up. It's one of like we're both those kind of teams that are similar. Where the last few wins have been gutsy, like probably a little bit undeserved wins, but we still get the job done.
Get the job done.
I think it's great early in the seasons to have these games, have these experiences of these close games because it's going to come in clutch towards the end of the year. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that we're winning these close
you
games.
need to take those wins.
You got to
Yeah.
take them, yeah.
Yeah.
So 100%
At the
take them
back
when
end
you
of the
get
year,
it.
you're like, oh, 2 points is worth so much more.
Yeah.
Yes. Should we go through the changes first because there's plenty for South?
Yeah,
So new half pairing, you got Mitchell 5'8", Bud Sullivan halfback, Cody Hammy and Humphreys Hammy. Lewis Dodd got suspended, I believe, in
Crusher tackle, yeah.
Crush
tackle, so he wasn't eligible for this game. Wonder what would happen then if he was. AJ Ribbs returns on the wing, and Ewan Aitken plays his first game in the red and green in the centres.
It's not the worst. Like I don't mind the
Obviously-
back line. I like how he's got some balls because any other coach is saying when Latrell comes back, you're our fullback, and that's regardless how good. But Wayne said no. Like Jai Gray's
Credit to Jai.
Gray's top of the Dalians, and Latrell's that kind of player where, like we saw against the Roosters, you can play him anywhere in that ballpark, and he will do a job.
do a job, yeah.
Especially at 5'8", like the ball playing between fullback and 5'8" is not too dissimilar at times. So I think it'll suit him. I think he's getting his hands on the ball leads to more points.
Yeah, I think we saw he did a lot of our kicking last week anyway. So
He's got a great boot on him.
He's got a big boot. It's not always accurate, as we saw he kick 2 out on the full.
Yeah.
Where, 5 metres in is probably 40-20.
Yeah.
So he's close, he's thereabouts, but he does have a big boot. So I think we can get away with it this week. And Bud was great. He broke the game open with tied forward. So
Bud's been a great signing for
happy
South.
with Bud.
Like
Yeah,
literally
very
missed
versatile.
to
It's on
fix
loan
it.
as well.
He's played every single position in the back line.
yeah, centre, wing,
I think he played a bit of fullback at one point.
middle
there.
probably. So yeah, he's been great. He's just whatever Wayne wants of him, he's been doing. So fair play to him.
And Cowboys get Ruben Cotter back. So
Big inclusion.
Big inclusion.
Good inclusion,
Dearden's playing good footy. Purdue's looking dangerous.
That left edge is looking
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Purdue, Dearden,
Yeah.
and then Talangi finishing
do you reckon
it off.
Laybot gets back into the team?
Probably 3 weeks ago, you're probably thinking, yeah, you probably should. But at the moment, I think everyone's probably doing their job.
Like Viley is just doing enough. He scored
Wiley
a
is
try.
doing enough. I think Darby's been good on the wing.
Braden Burns, is he back?
But
Is he come in?
Burns isn't far away.
Yeah.
Burns isn't far away. He's probably a few weeks away. But yeah, that left edge combination, Dearden, Drinkwater out the back, Purdue, and then Taulagi as well.
Yeah.
Like they're building a good combination.
Drinky's finally finding a bit of a groove. He started really slow, same with Dearden. But it seems like even Robbo, they're all sort of connecting a bit better.
Robbo's running it now,
Your forwards
which is
are going
good.
forward.
Yeah.
You know.
Lolo's been huge.
Yeah, Lolo's he's good. You know,
Yeah.
he's back to not his
2015
best,
Lolo, but
he's doing
he's
good.
good.
He's still making an impact.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good game, but South won 7 of the last 10 games versus Cowboys. But a stat on the opposite side of that, Rabbitohs have never won at Optus Stadium.
Are we going to do a bet of some sort?
I'm happy to do a bet. I think it's a fairly even game.
Yeah.
I reckon we don't do like a dress up or anything.
No, we just do
We've
like
done that.
I think I've retired from that.
Jim was the bunny. You've done enough dress
Yeah,
ups.
I've done too many dress ups.
Well, look, we've got Magic Round coming up. How
Yeah.
about something to do with that?
Like wearing an opposition jersey, maybe.
Yeah, how about like loser buys like the winner, like their jersey?
Is it me and you, Jim?
Yeah, go me and
Oh,
you.
we'll do me and you.
Yeah,
'cause I don't want you to buy 2 jerseys. That's a bit rough.
Yeah, the
Especially
2v1's
especially when your team
That's
loses.
tough. No,
a bit much.
you take it. You take it.
Okay, so if South win, you buy me a South jersey.
Of your choice.
You wear it on the podcast next week.
I'll wear it on the potty next week.
and Magic Round.
And I'll wear it to one of the days
one of the
Magic
games.
Round. Yeah.
And then vice versa. Cowboys win.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in a Cowboys jersey next week.
Yeah.
And I'm going around Brizzy Magic Round wearing Cowboys
And
jersey.
within reason though, the jersey, like you can get a new
Yeah.
one, yeah, sure.
Yeah, new one. Yeah.
Yeah, not like just like some old vintage one worth like $1,000 or something.
2025.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Done. Yeah, not $1,000 jersey.
That's good. I'm going to go Rabbits on this one, but I do think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
After taking that bet, I'm going to go Rabbits as well.
I'm gonna go the Cows.
Wow.
that
Who would have thought?
If that wasn't clear enough,
One that's not clear is this game here. Eels $2.58, Raiders $1.50.
up in Darwin.
Darwin, weird matchup that one. Eels won 5 of the last 8 versus Raiders.
Yeah, this
That's
is another
anything
one
to go
where
by.
you just can't catch any of these teams, right? At the
You'd
moment.
think off the first 5 rounds, Raiders win. But you just don't know.
You don't know with the Raiders.
Raiders coming off a good win, Eels with a miraculous Golden Point win.
Yeah,
So they're both high in confidence.
both in form.
But Darwin, neutral ground. I can't tip Eels. I'm sorry. I'm going to tip the Raiders.
I think it was last year. Remember, Eels played up in Darwin, I'm going to say, and they got rolled by the Dolphins. They had that like middle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, they just got absolutely destroyed.
Like there was like 14 or 16 points within a few minutes.
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
I
that,
do
yeah.
remember that.
That was in
like-
Darwin, wasn't it?
I think the issue with the Raiders is I don't know if they travel very well. Saw it up at Townsville. They were gassed pretty early, and to be fair, it was pretty hot up there.
Well, I'll tell you what, a
It's going to be
stat.
hot in Darwin.
I know you like
Yeah.
your stats, Age.
Love my stats.
First 2 rounds, Raiders win back to back. I didn't tip them. The next 2 weeks, I tipped them both. Both weeks, they lose.
Okay,
Last
yeah.
week, tipped the Sharks.
Oh my
Raiders
God.
win.
So what are you tipping?
I'm 0-5 there. Who do I'm going Raiders this week? So
Fuck. Can I change to Eels?
Eels win.
I think I'll go the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Raiders win. They've got some great middles, and Fogs is controlling it, and I just not convinced with Eels.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough. I haven't seen enough.
But positive, Zach Lomax back on the wing. Much
Yeah,
needed.
where he should be.
His best position is a winger, so it's good to see Jason
Can
Rolls.
you tell the yarn when you saw Lomax in the line?
No.
Okay.
All you need to know is a winger.
Yeah, he's a better winger. Next game. This is the second last game of the round. Storm $1.17. Warriors $5.25. Any love for the Warriors, guys?
Storm have won 16 in a row versus the Warriors.
16.
Yeah, 16 in
Oh my
a row.
God.
So I don't see it happening, especially the way that Storm rolled through the Sea Eagles. You just look at them and you're like, oh, okay, it's probably their comp to lose this year.
Yeah.
Hughes
Especially
coming
given
back
how-
in is just so good for them. Like he's unreal.
That try
Hughes.
that they scored when every spine player touched the footy,
It was
that
like
was
flashback to like Smith Slater.
that was
Cronk.
good stuff.
Yeah,
that was so
that was
good.
great to see.
Fox League did a table stats thing where it was like players when they don't play for that club, how many wins or losses they've had. So it shows like how big of an impact that player is. And Hughes was top of the list. When he's not
When
there,
he's not playing.
Storm struggle. And
Yeah.
no disrespect to Wishart last week, but it actually showed.
Showed
that,
against
that right
Dragons.
edge. He probably took a bit too many runs.
Too many
Yeah.
dummies. I know it was wet. He had excuses, but Hughes is just so class. Ex-Dally
And you can see, I think Hughes did 3 try assists, and it's just
Yeah.
He
it's
came back
different.
from a broken hand in 1 week. Like he said, he did it before as well. It wasn't his first time doing that.
Yeah.
So he always knew it was possible. So pretty crazy from Hughes.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
there's
know,
still more to
like,
come.
Warriors have been good.
They have been
Those are
good.
Besides that Vegas game, they've been
Yeah.
great. So
This is
and
a
they're
big
fresh
test
off
for
a
them.
bye.
I think we'll know where the Warriors are at this
Yeah,
game.
like I'm not convinced it's going to be a pumping. I think Warriors. Oh, I think they're a smoky chance at $5.25.
Like they almost beat Melbourne. Oh, it was a Coates miracle try, right?
Last year, yeah.
Last year, yeah.
Miracle try to save him. You know,
I think if it was in New Zealand, it'd be a lot closer
Amy
in
Park.
the betting.
Amy
Amy's
Park.
I
Yeah.
think we're all going to tip Storm, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is more competitive than everyone thinks.
I'm not confident enough to say that Storm are going to smash them in this one, but I think Storm get the W.
Yeah, I think like if you're doing your footy tips at home, don't even bother. Just tip Storm because
Turn
it's
it
not
off.
worth. It's not worth every single person in your league getting a win and you going for the upset. But if you're betting, hey, cheeky 10 on Warriors, not the worst you can do.
It's not.
Okay. Last game of the round, Knights at $1.52, Tigers $2.55. Knights have won 7 in a row versus Tigers. Bit of a bogey team. That's 2 bogey teams in a row.
When I saw the odds for this come out, I couldn't believe Tigers are outsiders.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was the exact same.
Couldn't believe it.
Do you think Dabble got it wrong?
Oh, mate.
Maybe they all got it wrong.
Should we give Heath a call and just say, what's doing, mate?
Because looking at the Knights and their outs, like Cogger's out, Schiller's out, Safidi's out, Hetherington, Elliott's out. Big losses. I mean, they get some replacements, obviously. Kai Pearce-Paul's back.
Yeah, that's a good
Kyle McCarthy comes in for his second game on the wing. Brody Jones joins the pack. Phoenix Crossland moves from hooker to halfback.
I don't
Jaden
know if
Brayley's been
halfback-
on the out of there. It's a weird one. I'm liking the Tigers in this
And
one.
then Luai's back and Skelton's back.
And Samuela.
And Fainu.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be this far apart, but you know, Knights do have a lot of strike power. They got Ponga, who was quiet last week. You don't see him have 2
been quiet for this last 2
Doesn't
weeks.
have many quiet games in a row. He's new.
I think the thing that's in Newcastle's favour is they're playing at home.
Yep.
And we know
They
how much
lifted
of a
McDonald
fortress
Jones.
it is up at Newcastle. So that's in their favour. But yeah, I think $1.50. I think that's poison for. Yeah, I don't know. They should be that short.
I think it's a bit closer than it is. Tigers, they held their own in the first half against the Broncos until they lost their way completely and the points just started flowing.
Yeah.
But Tigers as well, like they probably should have beat. Who was it the week before?
Warriors, right?
Warriors.
Yeah, they choked that one.
Their season could be a lot different if they just iced out a few of those wins. But in saying that, I'm going to go Tigers.
Yeah.
I do think it's more of a 50-50 flip a coin game.
Rather than whatever they're
But
reflecting.
due
on
to
the
these
odds.
odds, I'm happy to go the upset Tigers here.
I'm going Tigers as
Yeah,
well.
could be the upset of the round.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
there you go. That
Gnoc-
is all the preview.
Any,
and Gnocchi,
I was going to say, any tips from Gnocchi this week?
Gnocchi is actually sick. She has an
Gnocchi
ear
the Bulldog
infection.
is sick.
Gnocchi the Bulldog's sick.
No
So maybe she's sick from not tipping great. Or I don't know, maybe she's just sick. But she will be doing her tips. So stay tuned. We usually post Thursday morning. So yes, we'll reveal it then. Listen to the
She's
question.
gone on a shocker anyway.
Oh yeah, what'd she get? 4 something this week? Yeah, she needs to really pick it up. Otherwise she gets sacked.
Listener questions for this week. First one at Nick Stav. Should Gutho bring back the Gutherino?
I don't see why not.
Well, Tui
where'd it
Bolotu
go?
was banned from his Show Me the Money celebration.
Yeah.
So maybe Flano doesn't like celebrations.
Did you see in the crowd of the game, those Dragons fans were doing the Gutherino and that para fan?
Oh,
that
he was
the old fella
raging.
was raging.
He was rattled.
He was rattled.
He was
proper.
raging.
Um,
I mean,
That was good fun.
Like I watched the Premier League, right? And each player, when they score, has got their own sort of signature celebration. And I guess a goal means a lot more than a try sometimes. But I think I'd like to see that come into NRL, but that personality come out. Like we've already seen, like GI had the goanna.
Yeah.
Trell's got his bunny ears. Tuipulotu's got his money
I can
bags.
see why it's pissing off Flano though, because 2 times he did it, they ended up losing that
they've
game.
lost both.
I think
yeah.
you
so
can
maybe
do
it's
it.
a curse.
I think you can do it without, like, the problem with Tuipulotu is he does, like, spams the emotes. Like, he does 7 of them to the crowd, to the players. Like,
And then he
it's-
does all these
it's
other
intense.
ones.
But I think
like-
it's like more than just a celebration. Like he probably actually wanted a pay rise.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to get paid.
Like it was probably more than just a celebration. So I think that's why it was. If he was doing something else, like if he was just going like "come on" or something, like obviously trademarked by Hello Sport,
Yeah.
but if he was doing something else, it would have been sweet.
Like Connie Harrell when he'd score, right? He'd blow a kiss to the camera. I think you can celebrate like that
Yeah,
where
you
it's
can.
not
Yeah,
taking
like
the
Trell's
piss.
bunny ears, Hammer's like hammer,
Yeah.
like dolphin.
Like, all
whatever
right, look
it
at
is.
Chelsea, Cole Palmer, right? His celebration is not pissing off anyone. He's just
Yeah.
doing like cold.
I'm cold.
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
I'm cold. That's it. Like, he's not going to the crowd
Yeah.
fucking hands to the
But the
ears.
Gutherino is a bit sexual. You know, there's a lot of hip thrusting.
Depends who
going
you're
on.
doing it to.
Yeah, so
Maybe try July.
Yeah,
So you come
maybe
back.
you can bring it back then.
Yeah.
Good question, Nick Stav.
Next one at Dre_Falanico. Is Wade Egan your origin hooker this year?
If you had to pick it right now, he's probably the informed hooker of the comp. But, you know, give it another 6 weeks, there's players like Robson, the incumbent.
Yeah.
You got Connor Watson playing good footy. Brayley's always there and about.
Appy's there.
Appy's still there. Like
Tom Starling.
Starlo,
Smoky.
yeah.
Especially
He can't play
with
80
the
though,
new
Starlo.
coach, you have no
Probably
idea.
could.
You have no idea
Don't
what's
think
going to
they
happen
will.
at hooker. So I don't know if they'll go Starling. I'm probably leaning towards Watson.
Yeah.
Just because he's a bit more versatile. I like Egan. His form's been great, but
Yeah.
like Age said, if you can maintain it for the next 6 weeks, maybe force Laurie's hand into picking him. But yeah,
The thing with Egan is like he's very injury prone. He's been touch wood. He stays fit. If he stays fit, he can push for that 9 jersey.
Yeah.
But I just hope he doesn't get injured because the last few seasons has been very unlucky for him.
Yeah. All right, next one at Mackenzie Riranui. Will we ever see the castle troll in New Zealand?
have you? So I've been to New Zealand maybe 2 years ago
Yeah.
or last year. No, 2 years ago. You been to New Zealand?
No.
I've never been. I'd love to go.
Bro,
Love
we
to
went on a
go.
cruise to New Zealand together.
Did we?
Yes. Yes, we've
Did
literally.
we actually? Oh yeah, we did.
We've gone on a cruise.
I have been.
How
we were
long
young
ago was
though.
this?
We were young.
We were probably 12,
Like
13.
12.
Yeah, right.
I want to
okay.
go like when I'm older.
I'd
I
love
want
to
to
go to a-
skiing there.
I'd love to go to a home Warriors home game.
Yeah, Mount Smart. I want to. Yeah.
We should cook
Go
something
Media
up.
Stadium.
We should cook something up. Like
Yeah, I think the answer to that is you will see cast from
One day
New
you
Zealand.
will.
one day we'll
One
see.
day
us
you
there.
will. Next one at Schned 3009. Does Canberra have the opportunity to sneak into the top 4 this year?
Fuck, Mick, you said they were going to get the spoon. Why don't you take this one?
Well, look, you look at the top 4, rule out 2 spots, Storm and Broncos. I think
Okay.
they're locked in for top 4. The people around there, Bulldogs are up there.
Bulldogs.
I'd probably put Bulldogs ahead of the Raiders for a top 4 spot. And there's a few other teams. I don't know if Raiders, like Jim said, they can't play outside of Canberra sometimes. I feel like they love that cold at GIO Stadium.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they, like Darwin, Corey Horsburgh might melt up there.
Yeah.
It might be that hot
Few
for
of
him.
them, yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing every year where
I'm going to
know,
rule out a top 4 for him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
where they like everyone, even myself, like I write them off,
Write 'em
and
off.
then as the year progresses, they get more convincing, and then they're so awkward to play against.
Yeah.
They've got an awkward pack with all different shapes and sizes and speeds, like, and then you have to go to Canberra and play in the cold. So I think 4 is probably a push. Top 8, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
top 8 for
Top
sure.
8, I think.
Like, not saying
Not
for
for
sure they'll
sure.
make it, but like, I think that's a hope for sure.
Yeah.
Top 4, I think it'd be a stretch.
They're just a team that you can never pick, you know.
I don't see
Yeah,
top
they've
4.
got a good pack to match it with anyone.
Last one for this week at Reels P. Who's getting Rookie of the Year so far?
Well,
I think it was
going off-
Humphries before
Well,
he
I
got
think,
injured.
yeah, Humphries is probably leading it in terms of what he's doing at the South.
Hottest rookie of the year at least.
Toyo
You
or
know.
Marky Mark for the Roosters has been pretty impressive
been
in their
solid.
centres.
Yeah.
It also depends on like they normally.
Yongi's been good.
Yeah, you need a bit
He's
of
coming
like
into his own, Yongi.
you need form at the right time with these sort of things and the right players. Not
And no
getting suspended.
suspension,
Like, 'cause
suspensions as well.
Like the last 2 years, it's been Galvin and Preston probably deserved Rookie of the Years, but both of them didn't get it because of suspensions.
Yeah.
In the Dalian, it was Taruva and Bostock, who I don't think.
Yeah, but it's probably a good thing not to get it because then you come on our podcast because we've had them both on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So if you get Rob from Rookie of the Year, we'll happily
Jump
have
on
you
the
on the
pod.
body.
Is someone like Mark Nicholson a Rookie of the Year? That he hasn't played in the NRL.
Marty,
Maddie.
what's his name? Maddie
Maddie
Nicholson.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
What did I say, Mark?
Say Mark.
Said Mark
yeah,
Nichols.
like
Mark
Nichols.
Nichols?
Mark Nichols, the goat.
Mark
the
Nichols.
goat. I think he's probably like 35 years
Yeah.
old.
What about Matt Nicholson from the
Yeah,
Raiders?
yeah, he is because he hasn't played over
I
3
feel like
games.
that's a bit unfair though.
I don't think so. Well, he's
Like
young.
how many? Like surely is there like a stipulation of how many Super League games you have to play?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's like 21.
Like,
or
what
something.
happens if
like,
you're
he hasn't played
a
NRL?
300 Super League gamer and then you come across?
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then-
are you a rookie?
don't-
There
I
must
don't
be a
know.
rule of like age bracket, but I don't actually
don't
know.
know.
It's a good question, but I think he would be eligible.
If someone knows, can you please DM us or write in the comments? If
Yeah.
you've listened this far, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the listeners, isn't it?
That's all the
That was
listeners.
it. That's
yeah.
why. If they
Wow.
lasted that long.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you lasted right to the end, then respect to you.
Just a reminder, we're on the Double live stream this Saturday. I think it's at 12 p.m. now that clocks are going back.
Ooh, we're
Back
back,
to
to
12.
12.
I think
Okay.
so.
Southern Eastern Standard
Have
Time.
to
Yeah.
double check on that one, but
Back
we'll be
to
on the
12.
app, be there Saturday, and that's pretty much all from me.
Yeah.
And that's all from me.
That's
See you
all
guys.
from me. Go the Bunnies.